Have you ever thought about designing a life in business that you would actually love? So imagine waking up every day looking forward to a happy balance of family, work, and even fun. Imagine work not feeling like work because you're doing what you love. Imagine getting paid to do what you were born to do, what you are great at, what makes you feel most fulfilled. So it's time to stop imagining and start making your dreams a reality, because now is the best time in history to create a life and business you love. I'm Donna Partow, and I've been working from home for nearly 30 years, doing what I was born to do. Now, in my case, it happens to be teaching and helping people just like you work from home. When I began working from home back in 1989, my family and friends literally thought I'd lost my mind. In their view, I was walking away from a great career and nearly a decade spent in college with all the student loans to show for it. No one could fathom that doing what I had always dreamed of was more than a silly pipe dream. But it was, and in fact, it is the best decision anyone could ever make. Starting your own business from home is now mainstream. And rather than questioning your sanity, most people will be secretly envious. You don't have to start your own business uphill in the snow both ways like I did. The pathway has been paved and the secrets to success discovered. So lucky you, I should say blessed. I didn't have someone to show me the way, but today resources abound that can dramatically cut your learning curve. I found my first clients dialing through the yellow pages. Yeah, do you remember the yellow pages? I'm not making that up. It's the truth. No one had websites. Social media didn't exist. There was no Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest. There was no way anybody was going to find you. You had to go find them. Most people didn't even use email. And how the world has changed. And how many new and better opportunities are out there for you. And they're all at your fingertips on your smartphone and your iPad and your laptop. 24/7, 365. You can create a business, put it on autopilot, and earn money while you sleep, or spend time with your family, or travel the world, or whatever you want. Your unique gifts and life experience can open doors of opportunity that most people in the world today, and certainly no one in history, it can only dream of. But for you, they can be an everyday experience. And one thing I can tell you for sure, there's no one thing that's right for everyone. No one size fits all. The more closely you can align your income stream with your personality, natural talents, education, and life experience, the more income will come streaming in. The truth is, this is the greatest time in human history to be alive. Never before have we had so many great options, both for a personal life that's truly free and fulfilling, and for a professional life that enables us to earn a great living while living a great life. We are truly blessed. In this short training session, I'm going to walk you through 13 ways to discover the perfect business for you. So let's begin. I hope you have a pen and paper ready. Number one is to evaluate your educational experiences, and not just college, not just university. Begin with kindergarten. What do you know about yourself because of your school experiences? If you won awards or or if you preferred extracurricular activities to scholastic, what does that say? Have you had any special training outside of traditional schooling? First aid, horseback riding, public speaking, self-defense, CPR, anything you've learned? If you've had more than a day's worth of training, list it, because other people may not have had one day. If you paid to learn it and enjoyed the experience, could you learn enough to teach others? I mean, you paid someone to teach you. So clearly people will pay to learn it. Jot down 5 ideas that spring to mind based on your educational experience. And if you're listening to the replay, I strongly encourage you to pause and really ponder each one of these. Number 2, list every job or business you've ever had, beginning with your lemonade stand if you had one. List everything you've ever done to earn money. Yeah, everything. Under each item, list every skill required and acquired, along with every lesson learned, including what each job taught you about yourself. My lemonade stand taught me that I work better with a deadline, and that is true of me today. I was always having lemonade and comic book sales. In fact, little anecdote about me. I used to steal my brother's comic books and sell them to the neighbors. You should have seen the looks on my brother's faces when they found out where their comic books were disappearing to. Mom, you won't believe what Donna's done now. Yeah. But when the carnival came to town, I went into overdrive and made a bundle of money. Why? Because I knew it was in town for a limited time only. That deadline and that sense of urgency motivated me, and it still does. What motivates you? When are you at your best? How can you create a business or an income stream that positions you to be at your best? Number 3, explore whether your free time holds the key to your freedom. So list 5 things you enjoy doing with your free time. I told you you would need a pen and paper. Jot down a few possibilities for turning each hobby into a business. This is one of the most important questions you can ask yourself. What would you do even if no one paid you? If you had $100 million and money was a non-issue, what would you wake up and do each day anyway? For me personally, if I had all the money in the world, I would still want to get up and teach. I would still want to get up and preach. I would still want to get up and pray for people. What would you still do? Tells you a lot about the type of business that you were born to do. Number 4, read something into your reading habits. Look over your book and Kindle collection. What category do most of them fall into? What topic have you read widely on? When you walk into a bookstore, which section are you drawn to? Would you love learning about, reading about, investigating? Have you learned enough to teach others, whether through writing, speaking, or a combination of the two? If you love Christian romance novels, maybe you can start a website, or you can become one yourself. Or create a website that's a resource recommending the best and giving warnings about the worst. One of the most valuable skills that you can possess is the ability to study a mountain of information and consolidate it into a need-to-know, actionable, one-stop resource. Coming back to our Christian fiction example, there are just too many books out there. People are on information overload. They're overwhelmed. How do they know which authors are really solid? Which books have a meaningful takeaway and which are a waste of time? Well, you could find that out for them and tell them. Think of a resource like Plugged In from Focus on the Family that analyzes all the movies and TV shows. Well, you could do the same thing for books. If you love to learn, you can learn to synthesize what you learn and share it with others. What are your two favorite subjects? Can you see yourself becoming a true expert or resource on either one of them? Number 5, surf through your surfing history. When you're at your best, okay, when you're behaving yourself now, which internet sites do you visit? Example, I search for great worship music. I search for information on internet marketing, on how strategies to get my message out there to the world. That fascinates me. What fascinates you? How are other people being heard on the internet, and how can I use those same strategies? That intrigues me. What intrigues you? Could you build a website or create a blog of your own offering similar information? You don't have to be a great writer to be a successful website host or blogger. It's important to know many of the most popular sites serve as information aggregators. I'm going to give the example from the political arena, the Drudge Report. He doesn't write anything. He just posts links. He's the biggest name in conservative politics, right? If speaking is more your style, you could create a site that's audio or video driven. Video, huge right now. Vlogging is very big. Video blogs, big trend right now. If you were to create a website, blog, or vlog, what would be the focus? Number 6, let's discuss your favorite topic of discussion. If you could only talk about one topic all day, every day, for the rest of your life, what topic would it be? I can tell you, few questions are more important to answer than this one. Because if you are going to build something, build it to last a lifetime. And if you're going to make this your strategy, not only to get by, survive, and pay the bills, but to thrive and create a life that you love living, then you're going to have to eat, sleep, drink, walk, wake. I mean, this every waking hour. So don't settle for something like, yeah, I guess. No, it needs to be the one thing that you would do all day, every day for the rest of your life. I could talk about finding your life mission and getting it accomplished for the rest of my life. Getting stuff done, whether on your daily checklist or for the kingdom of God, just get it done. Lock onto the mission and get it done. That's what I'm about. What are you about? What's your topic? What topic gets you fired up? You, not you fired up. That's what gets me fired up. I don't like people sitting around doing nothing with their lives. I used to, did you ever have teenagers? I had 2 teenagers, and one in particular, I used to say, just do anything. Just do something other than nothing. That was like my most common refrain during that teenage year time when they just want to sleep and not doing anything. I say, I don't care what you do, just do something other than nothing. Just get up and get something accomplished. That gets me fired up. What topic makes you angry? No. Maybe human trafficking. Does that make you angry? Child abuse, does that make you angry? Animal abuse? Think of someone like William Wilberforce. Slavery made him very angry. He gave his life to it and just about single-handedly ended the slave trade in the British Empire. Maybe you have a mission or you want to start a movement. That's a powerful, powerful way to spend your life and to create an income stream. Even if you end up starting a foundation or a nonprofit organization, there's still revenue and income coming in. What topic can you not stop talking about? Even when you decide you really need to think of another topic. Coming back to William Wilberforce, if you watch the movie about his life, Amazing Grace, there's a scene in a movie where he's decided he's not going to talk about the slave trade anymore. And he's sitting with a beautiful young woman and he suddenly realizes, I'm talking about it. I can't stop talking about it. And she says to him, well, what does that tell you about what you need to do with your life? You can't walk away from this thing, even if you wanted to. What is that topic for you? What are you willing to take a stand for? Again, coming back to this idea that it's not just about making money, that for you, it could be starting a movement. What are you willing to take a stand for? What are you willing to take a stand against? What concerns you most about the world today? What concerns you most about what the next generation is up against? One of the things that concerns me is when I see children who are already obese. Breaks my heart. What chances will they have of leading a healthy, productive, fulfilling life if they're already handicapped with obesity? I saw a little girl, couldn't have been 4 or 5 years old the other day. Just broke my heart. Would I be willing to take a stand against that? Childhood obesity might be a good cause. If you'll make that topic the heart of your business or your movement, if you will, you are guaranteed to succeed. So what's your favorite topic for discussion? Even when you say, I'm not going to talk about it, you talk about it. Number 7, make a list of your special talents. This is the wrong time to be modest. If you want to succeed in business, you have to make a realistic assessment of your best strengths. List any special talent you have, from the obvious, like music, to the not so obvious, like your talent for putting people at ease. Did you play golf or tennis? Are you good enough to give lessons? Again, if you know more than, if you've played 100 rounds of golf and the woman next door hasn't played any, to her, you're an expert. Interview podcasts are huge right now. Coming back to this idea of putting people at ease. If you love people and you love to talk to people and you love to ask them questions and can put them at ease, you might make a great podcast host. Which of your talents can be monetized? Number 8, evaluate your normal activities. Just normal, just you do it all the time. Write down a detailed description of your typical day and don't skip anything. You're looking for the usual, the routine. Often we get into a routine of doing things because we have a special knack for and truly enjoy them. We assume everyone else operates at the same level of skill and joy. It's not true. You may have special abilities that others would cherish and they're hidden in plain sight. So kind of think about your typical morning, your typical afternoon, your typical evening. Is there anything you absolutely love doing and again would do all day even if no one paid you? Maybe you love your morning workout. Maybe you love tending your garden or caring for your pets. I don't care what it is. There's a way to turn anything into a business. I was recently staying at a resort And the morning fitness instructor told me how she got the job, living at this spectacular resort. Every morning she woke up, she went there at first for a vacation. But every morning she woke up and went down by the pool to do her workout because that was her routine. She loved doing her morning workout. The resort manager noticed and asked if she would be willing to host morning workouts for the guests. And they invited her back, and she went there and lived there for 3 months, her and her husband, in return for doing the morning workouts. And in the course of her job, she met other resort owners who came on vacation and invited her to teach at their resorts in Mexico and in Australia. And this resort was in Fiji. She met a world famous musician who offered to set her workout to custom music. I mean, world famous, award-winning musician who's played with like Stevie Wonder and every famous person you can think of. He introduced her to Hollywood producers who agreed to produce a video of her workouts. So think of one thing that you kind of routinely do that other people maybe either hate to do or won't do if left to their own devices. I think if they didn't have the workout leader scheduled in the morning, I probably wouldn't. I don't know if I would have been down there every day, but since she was down there every day, I went down there every day and did it. Number 9. Again, you may already have found your answer, but if not, these are just other ways to find it. Make a task, make a tasks and skills list. Create a list of all the tasks you complete on a routine basis, and then take time to kind of evaluate the skills involved in each. Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 based on the level of skill with which you complete those tasks. And again, example, cooking. You might be a gourmet chef, and you can create an excellent business, either cooking for others or teaching them how to cook with more skill. This is a huge trend right now. Meal delivery services. I have one that I get here in my home in Florida called Kathy's Table. And it started just like this. A woman realized, hey, I cook every day. I love to cook. I've got a great skill for cooking, gluten-free, dairy-free, paleo, healthy kind of food that people who want to be fit and lose weight, that they like that food, but they don't have time, they don't have the talent. And so she started with just a few people, and now it's just growing all the time. I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up franchising, but she just opened a storefront and delivers all over northern Florida. It's become a very successful business. What tasks do you complete with ease because you've developed skill? And how can you leverage that skill by targeting the unskilled? People like me who can't cook and will pay you to prepare the food for me, and all I have to do is heat it up. Number 10, we talked about the usual. Now let's talk about the unusual. What is unusual about you? Do you have any unusual interests, activities, or life experiences? Would others be fascinated by it? Were you raised in the jungles of South America with monkeys and boa constrictors for pets? Did you backpack through the Middle East by yourself for 2 years? You'd be amazed how many women are making a great living as travel bloggers just because they've traveled the world alone. Hot trend. Do you collect spiders or grow flowers indoors in the winter? People are fascinated by the offbeat and the unlikely. How can you capitalize on that fact? One woman that I follow lived out of a suitcase for 7 years. She called herself the suitcase entrepreneur, and she became, I would imagine, a millionaire. I know she was making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And that was her thing. She lived and worked out of a suitcase for 7 years. So she turned homelessness into a, elegant cachet. Unusual, unlikely, offbeat. I mean, there are people all over the world who don't have a home and live out of a bag. But they don't leverage it into $1 million business, and she did. I'll give you another example. One of my friends grew up in the jungle because his parents were missionaries with New Tribes Mission. His first business was selling paintings of tribal scenes that he recalled from his youth. And today he runs a videography business, but many of his customers are missions organizations who recognize that his unique kind of offbeat upbringing and understanding of tribal culture enable him to bridge the gap between the people they're reaching on the field and those they're reaching out to for funds with slick videos. What are 5 unusual things about you? And even if they don't form the basis of the business, they can be what sets your business apart. In other words, being a videographer, putting together, sales videos to promote missions and organizations, that's not unusual. But what made it unusual was his background and his unique understanding of that specific target market. What are 5 unusual things about you? Number 11, this may sound counterintuitive, but what do you hate to do? Yeah, is there something you absolutely detest doing? And do you think other people detest it too? House cleaning is the most obvious example. Now, of course, you don't want to be a house cleaner, but if you're organizational and good at managing people and good at managing logistics and detail oriented, you can start a house cleaning referral service where you get paid to schedule and manage reliable house cleaners. You can all band together and never clean your houses again. How can you turn something people hate to do into a win-win business proposition? This is a big one. Number 12, consider problems you've solved. Huge. Look closely at problems you've solved and obstacles you've overcome. If you've struggled all your life with poor health or battled weight control and found solutions, look no further for the focus of your business. And I need to qualify when I say found solutions. It's okay to still be on the journey. It's okay to say, look, I'm on a journey to solve this problem and I've found some solutions and I'm looking for more. Come along with me and together I'll be the guide and I'll just be a few steps ahead, but together we're going to solve this problem. It's a very appealing and a very popular approach. So don't feel you need to have it mastered, but you need to have found some solutions. Have you survived the heartbreak of divorce, but found new life on the other side? Have the incredible challenges of parenting in the modern world forced you to find creative answers to difficult questions? I don't care how shy you are. A lot of times I'm shy. If you found a real solution to a real problem, your concern for other people alone will empower you to share it. That's why this is so powerful, because sharing is just another word for selling. And don't kid yourself. If you're going to stay in business, you absolutely must learn to sell. Positioning yourself to speak from a place of deep passion, born of compassion, is a sure road to success, especially if you're shy. Because you can take your eyes off yourself and say, look, this is not about me. This is about the people that I know I can help and feel called to help solve these problems. Brainstorm some challenges that you faced that have forced you to search for answers. Answers you can kind of package and put together and market to others for a profit, whether you package those answers into an actual physical product, a service, a book, e-class. I think of the woman who came up with the cloth, I didn't even know, little seats that you put into a shopping cart. She didn't want to put her child into, touching the shopping cart. So she made this little, I don't know almost like a little seat, cloth seat that you place in it. Problem solved. So it could be a product, a service, a book, an e-class, live training, personal coaching program. This is the age of the expert, that one-on-one, take people by the hand, lead them through the process. Very powerful. Listen to people around you and what they're saying about the problems they're facing. Every time, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so exhausted. What are people talking about? If you can help them solve their problems, they'll help you build a profitable business. And that's fair. That's an even exchange. What's the biggest problem you've ever solved? How can you help others solve that same problem? And if you can turn it into a system and make it systematic, that's even better. And this is the last one. Listen to compliments. What is the biggest thing people compliment you about? Consider the compliments you receive. Do people compliment you on how well you dress? Okay, become a fashion consultant. Are people amazed at your ability to stretch a dollar? Write an ebook filled with your best strategies and market on the internet. I have a training program called Authority. Get your book in print and on Kindle in just 30 days. So you can become an authority on that topic. It's easily done. And you can check that out, donnapartow.com/authority. Make it a point in the coming weeks and months to notice what people compliment you on. And then ask yourself, and you might even ask them, if there's a business opportunity in there somewhere. So again, what do people compliment you about most often? And how can you leverage that for income? There you have it. 13 ways to discover the perfect business for you. And I hope that this has been helpful. If you have a mission, a message, or feel called to start a movement, you may also be interested in my free training webinar, Take Your Message to the World. You can register for that at donnapartow.com/world. donnapartow.com/world. For now, please know that I'm praying for you and cheering for you. You really can design a life and business you love when you keep in mind God's original design for you.